over and over again. So we're going to take a quick moment to talk about Proverbs and talk about one that came up in our reading today. And I actually reread it during our reading. But Proverbs are going to be short, traditional sayings that have passed down orally for years and years from generation to generation. These sayings usually express truth, and they're based on experiences or observations of everyday life. I want you guys to know that some proverbs are going to have a very literal meaning, and others are going to be implied or a figurative meaning. Literal means like what I say I actually mean, and implied or figurative is like I'm going to say something, but I don't actually mean that. So you have to kind of read a little bit deeper into it. So I have a few for you, or we'll go to a chunk of our reading today. This came from our reading. Jack says, "I am much smarter than he is," joked Jack. Do you remember this from our reading? And he replied, "Well," laughed Samuel, "actions speak louder than words." And in this today, we have a proverb. Everybody look at that last line up there and read that last line to me. Actions speak louder than words. Have you guys ever heard this saying before, that actions speak louder than words?
Yes.
Can actions actually speak?
No.
Everybody wave.
Yes.
Are you actually speaking?
Yes.
No, you're not actually speaking. You're not actually using your voice. So when we say actions speak louder than words, are we being literal or figurative?
Figurative.
We don't actually mean that the action is speaking. Does that make sense? But when we say actions speak louder than words, what do we mean? Haley.
It means that your actions can be like worse than your words.
They can be more powerful than those words can, right? Now, can actions, we talked about it, can actions actually speak?
No.
We're taking actions, this thing, and we're giving it a characteristic of speaking. If we take something that's not a person and we give it a characteristic of a person, what do we call that? This is a tricky one. We call it personification. What do we call it? God, put the hand up higher, Aiden. I'm sorry. Personification. Aiden, say it for me.
Personification.
If you take something that's not a person and you give it the characteristic of a person, we call it personification. Fabulous. These actions can't actually speak. But what we're saying is that what someone does might make a bigger impact than what someone says. So I might say, "Oh, you're hungry? Let me get you breakfast." But if I don't actually do it, am I doing much? No. "Griffin, you're hungry. Let me get you breakfast." Rather than just, "Oh, here's the breakfast." It's going to be make a bigger impact on him in the moment, right? If we see people doing something, if people are actually doing something, it's going to make a bigger impact than just saying it. Like I think of being gone yesterday and you say, "Yes, Mrs. Martin will be good." Those are your words. A bigger impact, something that's going to mean more to me, are your actions. "Yes, Mrs. Martin, we were good, but were you?"
Yes.
Were you?
Yes.
Joey wasn't.
Yeah. You're giving him a hard time.
I am. Aiden knows me so well. I'm just giving him a hard time. Good.
Well, he did trash.
I want you to think of a time where your actions spoke louder than your words, or where someone else that you know, their actions spoke louder than their words. I want you to take a moment and think about that. And we're going to share it with a partner when we get a chance. So take a moment, think about it. In just a moment, we'll do a turn and share of times yours or someone else's actions spoke louder than their words.